Have you ever noticed how some people just don't quit? No matter how many times life knocks them down, they keep standing. There's something strange about it, because logic says, after enough failures, anyone would give up, right? But not them. They push forward. They endure. They persist. And here's the question you might be asking yourself right now. What makes them different? What is it that keeps some people moving when most of us feel like stopping? You watch them, and at first, it seems simple. They're just disciplined. Or maybe stubborn. But here's the thing. It's more than that. Much more. Persistence isn't just a habit. It's a mindset. And that mindset starts with how they see themselves. You see, people who never give up often carry a paradox. On the surface, they might seem fearless, but beneath that, they've learned to sit with discomfort. They've learned that failure is not an endpoint, it's feedback. And this is where it gets fascinating. This ability to endure comes from something you might not expect: vulnerability. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how children seem relentless in pursuit of what they want? A toddler tries, falls, cries, and tries again. They haven't yet learned to fear failure. Psychologists call this a growth mindset, a concept Carol Dweck popularized. But here's the twist. The people who never give up as adults, they've learned to reclaim that childlike tenacity without the naivete. Here's what's really happening inside them. Their brains are wired to notice possibility, not just obstacles. Mirror neurons, the ones that fire when we see someone else succeed, play a silent role here. When they witness others overcoming, something shifts inside. They start to believe, on a visceral level, that they can too. But it's not blind optimism. It's deliberate observation. They watch, they internalize, they adapt. And this is where it gets complex. Persistence also lives in attachment. Studies in attachment theory show that people who felt secure, even in small ways as children, are more likely to recover from setbacks. They learned early on that support exists, that they are not alone in struggle. Even if they appear stoic now, the foundation of their resilience is often hidden in the quiet relationships that made them feel safe enough to take risks. But the paradox doesn't stop there. Persistence often coexists with doubt. You might assume that someone who never quits is always confident. Far from it. The truth is, many of these people wrestle with fear constantly. They feel uncertainty like a shadow at their heels. What sets them apart isn't the absence of fear, it's how they respond to it. You notice they ask themselves, what's the worst that can happen? They rehearse failure, they anticipate it, they meet it face to face and still move forward. This is learned courage. It's quiet, almost invisible, and it's incredibly powerful. Let's bring it closer to home. Imagine someone trying to start a business or learn a new skill. At every step, there's rejection, mistakes, moments where giving up would feel reasonable, even logical. Yet, they persist. Why? Because the psychology behind it runs deeper than surface motivation. It's about identity. They see themselves as someone who persists. And identity, psychologists tell us, is one of the strongest drivers of behavior. Once you adopt it, I am a person who never gives up. The small failures stop being signals to quit. They become signals to refine, adjust, try again. And maybe that's the real insight here. People who never give up don't ignore pain. They integrate it. They don't avoid doubt. They harness it. They don't demand that life be fair. They adapt anyway. And here's the gentle truth you need to hear. This doesn't make them superhuman. It makes them human in a very deliberate way. You too can cultivate this mindset. Not by erasing fear, but by befriending it. Not by pretending failure won't sting, but by reframing it as feedback. Let's talk about long-term consequences. The people who persist are not only achieving external goals, they're building inner resilience. Neurologically, repeated effort changes the brain. Neural pathways strengthen with practice, literally making persistence easier over time. Psychologically, they grow a sense of self-efficacy, a quiet, unwavering belief in their own ability to influence outcomes. And emotionally, they develop a tolerance for discomfort, which is a skill few people consciously practice. And here's what's fascinating. Persistence is contagious. Just by observing it, others begin to mirror it. Social psychology shows us that behaviors, emotions, and even neural activation patterns can ripple through groups. So when someone never gives up, they're not just shaping their own destiny, they're influencing the world around them, often without even realizing it. So next time you see someone pushing through, don't envy them, understand them. Notice the paradoxes they carry: fear and courage, vulnerability and strength, doubt and determination. See how their persistence is less about raw willpower and more about deeply understanding themselves, embracing their discomfort, and choosing to move anyway. Remember the opening question. What makes these people different? It's not magic. It's mindset, yes, but also compassion for themselves. It's understanding that struggle is not a weakness, that failure is not a verdict, that persistence is a practice. So if you've ever felt like giving up, know this: the same principles that shape those who never quit are available to you. Start small. Notice your thoughts. Reframe your failures. And step forward anyway. Because here's the truth. Persistence isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about becoming someone who can stand up, quietly, courageously, even when the world says, stop. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real victory.